Hey everyone. So I've been a busy bee. I've been visiting family and then working through shadow. It's been intense, but I really feel like I want to make a video. And so this morning I was like, Spirit, just tell me, bring through whatever you want to bring through. And what came through was that I need to share things that I've experienced in the past 2 weeks. So that's always fun and kind of uncomfortable for me in a sense. It brings me out of my comfort zone because it's easier to just come on here and just talk about spirituality, and inspire you guys and just like take a subject and run on a tangent and channel some information. But it's a whole nother ball game to come on here and be vulnerable and be like, hey, here's my darkness, guys, hope you can relate to it, it helps you heal. But it's a like real, like, vulnerable place. That's why you don't see a lot of people on YouTube really digging in and sharing deep experiences, because it isn't like, especially when it's recent and fresh, it's like you're still working through it. And like when I talk about like when I was a kid or things I've already worked through, it's like not a big deal to me. But when you're willing to say I'm not perfect right now in this moment, like, and willing to admit that that ego never dies, that we actually have to take, whenever we sink into lower vibrations and we allow it to be in the driver's seat, be able to take that accountability and then appreciate it for the growth that it gives you. And when you alchemize that energy, that's when you see and appreciate. You see the growth and you appreciate the growth. So when you see it is when you start seeing your own crap. You can't appreciate growth until you actually notice that something is triggering you, or darkness or shadow aspects are coming up, and you actually are like, wow, I just was triggered and I just reacted, or I just spoke, or I just acted when I was in a low vibrational space and I created something, and now I'm have to um live with my creation. And that's what the law of attraction is. It's all energy. It's like what you put out is what you get back. That's why your vibration is your currency, because it's so important to understand where you are at vibrationally is the place that you're going to be manifesting from. It's where you're going to be sitting at in terms of the receiving space that you're going to be receiving at. Like, even in lower vibrations, I would say that you're not really receiving, you're creating from a lower space. Whereas when you raise your vibration and you're operating from a higher vibrational space, um you're allowing yourself to receive. You're allowing the universe to co-create with you. So instead of it feeling so hard, like it's hard work, it's totally flow. It's totally like all I have to do is be happy and things are going to roll out for me. But obviously we're humans and we're interacting with people in lower vibrations. We're interacting in a matrix that is like created off of lower vibrations. So when we're doing that, and we're interacting with lower vibrations, if we're not like, if we don't understand frequency, if we don't understand energy, and we don't understand, like, we have to protect ourselves and we're sensitive beings, like, even though we can tap into these higher frequencies now and we know a lot about it now, we still are interacting with lower vibrational frequencies on a daily basis. Whether you're scrolling through Facebook, whether you're going to the store, whether you're interacting with your family, you have to understand that when you need to like step your game up in terms of keeping your vibe high and protecting yourself. Because if you don't, you are susceptible to low to having your vibration come down because of your environment. And then something happens and you react instead of observe and then respond from a higher vibrational space. You react because and this is the thing, if you're in a low vibrational space, a lot of times you're reacting and you're just thinking that's normal, because we've always operated from those spaces until we came out of it from our spiritual awakening. So it's like noticing these things and then being able to alchemize that energy, being able to be the observer and not react. When you know you're not in a good space, don't react. And that's when I'm gonna like transition into this story that oh my gosh, I knew, like, I've been doing really well going home, you know, operating around people who don't believe the same way I do about what's going on in the world right now. So anyways, this situation happened. I kind of put myself in it, but at the same time I'm happy it happened because growth. You know what I mean? Growth. Okay. So here's what happened. I go home. I'm home for a couple days, and then I was planning on leaving after like 2 days because I just wanted to see my dad for his birthday and help my mom clean up her youth center and stuff like that. I always, you know, try to go with my kids and we help her, you know, and it's good for the kids to work hard and volunteer or whatever. And then after that, I was leaving when my brother stopped in because he had a doctor's appointment, and he was like, we should do a card night with the whole family, play cards and have a game night at Mom's Center tomorrow night. Very last minute. So my mom, not happy about the idea, because then she has to make sure the center looks perfect because she's worried, you know, she just wants everything to be perfect. And so my brother goes home, but I'm staying with my mom. So everything my mom is feeling stress-wise is what I'm sitting in the environment. So this is like a day and a half of my mom having panic attacks because she wants everything to be perfect and there's not enough time to do it all. And she knows that even if we work really hard, you know, so she's freaking out. And my brother's just sitting at his house like, yeah, we're doing game night tomorrow, and everything got put on me. I was like, oh my gosh, what is happening right now? So it's time for things to happen, and I help my mom clean up as much as I can, and then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to the store and get all the snacks, you know, for everyone. And so my mom's still freaking out. And having panic attacks left and right because that's just like from her own trauma, and I understand that in hindsight, but in the moment it was just like trying not to be upset with my brother because he put it all on me, and I had to deal with my mom at the same time, but not being upset with my mom either because I understand why she's upset, and then not being upset with my brother because he just wants the family to get together and have fun, right? So I go to the store to get the groceries, trying to make this fast, and I call Lance because I feel like I just need some emotional support in that moment. And it was like I'm driving for 5 minutes. I have, you know, time to call him. So I call him to vent. But what I didn't realize in that moment was that I had dropped vibrationally. And I felt like I was still cool. Like my mind. Because there wasn't that straw that broke the camel's back yet. So then I call the person who I feel like I can confide in, I feel safe with, you know, understands me. Nobody else really understands me unless it's like somebody in the spiritual community. But like in my life, Lance is the one person that understands me. And so I call him, and he said one little thing. And he said something, it triggered me so bad. I completely flipped out on him. The one person who did absolutely nothing. I was like, and it was just like, old Kelsey, like something old Kelsey would have done, who was in like a lower space, you know. And then he finally like got upset too, and as soon as he started yelling, I just hung up on him. I was like, whatever, like I don't care. In that moment I was convinced that I don't give a shit, like our relationship is over. Like I literally was so gone that I had lost all sense of like being conscious of fucking anything. All I could think about was every negative quality about Lance. And it was because I was in a lower vibrational space and I wasn't able to receive his support or love in that moment. I wouldn't let myself. I self-sabotaged and like freaked out on him because I couldn't receive love, because I allowed myself, didn't protect myself, was getting so caught up in the environment that I wasn't even like thinking about anything spiritual. I was like back to the Matrix, and I had just got sucked in. And then after that, I was like, okay, I have to go in and get these groceries. Like, it's a time crunch. I got to bring this stuff back. Like, I just freaking broke up with my boyfriend. Like, what is going on? And so I'm walking through the store trying not to completely break down and hyperventilate cry. Like my eyes are like full of water. I'm just like, just complete the task before he melts out. Complete the task. So I get as much as I get everything. I think I have it all. I even have a list, but I can't even freaking read the list because I'm so sensitive. Like, I'm a feeler. I'm an empath. So I'm so sensitive. So I'm like breaking down, trying to just get things done and do what I said I was going to do. So I get back out to the car. By this time I realize I fucked up. And so I call Lance back, and thank goodness he is just very receptive and forgiving, and was like, it's okay, like, and he made me feel better. But it was just like, I felt horrible because I don't want to treat anybody that way, especially somebody I want to support. But I knew, like, it was just me not allowing the love in, me not allowing the support in, because I wasn't even in a space to receive it. And so what a moment of growth. So then I have to go back to the party, right? I'm feeling a little better about everything because, you know, Lance was so understanding. But I go back. Things are still really tense, but I'm like, okay. And my mom's like, you didn't get ice. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go back out and get ice. I like going out anyways. It's more peaceful out there. Come back, get the ice. I'm trying to calm everyone down because everybody who comes in from my family feels that. I was like, and I'm such the peacemaker. So it was just crazy. Moral of the story: nobody's perfect. Your shadow isn't going anywhere. If you don't take control of your vibration and the way you manifest, you're not exempt from being triggered. You're not exempt from your shadow. It's always going to be there. That's why the shadow work is everything. It's not just like positivity, 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 and suppress it and then don't ever look at it. Yes, if you want to manifest good things, you have to keep your vibe high, focus on positive things. But if you try to pretend that you don't have a balanced side of you that is your ego, and you try to pretend it doesn't exist, you will be literally bitch slapped in the face with reality. Because like new age, airy fairy love and light, there's truth to that oneness. If you've ever sunk into that oneness, you feel that love and that joy. But you are living in a dream world if you think that that means there won't be any contrast ever in your life again. It's not about getting rid of the contrast. It's about being in the contrast and being able to feel love and joy anyways. You can't run away from anything because you are everything. You're connected to everything. So it's about alchemizing that darkness. It's about not being afraid to step in it and like own the fact that it exists, but not react. Just observe it and be like, whoa, I just felt that, but I'm probably not gonna call Lance right now. I'm gonna wait so I'm in a space where I can receive love, so I don't project how I'm feeling onto him, because that's not fair. You know what I mean? And that's just the twin flame journey too. It's like crazy growth. And for me, when he gets in his really dark spaces, it's not freaking easy to be understanding, loving, supportive either. But now I get it. I'm like, whoa, the more I show him support and love, the less I push him away, the more he grows, because I'm seeing him for his positive traits. I'm not looking at him in every negative way. He's looking at me in my positive way. Why? Because like that's what we're choosing to put out. That's the vibration we're choosing to hold. Wow, I didn't think that it was going to come out this way, but I see why Spirit wanted to bring this through, because it's like a lot of spiritual teachers, they don't talk about like the fact that they go through scary, like they dip into low vibrations too, and they get triggered and they project. Like if you're still here, you're still doing all those things. You're still transcending. You're still in the human body. If you weren't doing those things and you were so enlightened, you wouldn't even be in a body. We're here to be humans. We're here because we have a mission. We're here because we're supposed to grow, raise our vibration to help the collective raise theirs. And if we don't talk about the ugly shit, well, then you're not going to alchemize it. You got to dig deep. You got to, I mean, old Kelsey, like after that argument and I snap on Lance, I would never have even recognized that I was the one that was wrong. I would have been like, no, look at all the things I just told you about yourself. That's why I shouldn't be in this relationship. That's why I deserve better. Blah, 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 blah. You see how much ego is in that, and we sink into that. Like, if you, they do the runner, they talk about the runner chaser thing in the twin flame dynamic. Everybody is a runner and everybody is a chaser at times. That's why it's like, let's stop trying to like put somebody in a masculine category or in a feminine category. Newsflash, we need to balance both within our own selves. So it doesn't matter who is dominant and either or. Yes, it can help you understand the situation better, but at the end of the day, it's all the same stuff. It's all the same stuff we're going through. When I'm pissed off and triggered by him, I want to run. When he's pissed off and triggered by me, he wants to run. And it's just always pointing right back to you. If you're pissed off and triggered, it's you. It's always you. Observe it, don't react. If you're pissed off and triggered by the person you're in a relationship with, and you're pretty sure that's your person, and you're both growing, and you're both willing to, go through what you have to go through to build each other up. You know what I mean? Like, a relationship is so, like, it takes a lot to truly be ready for one. I feel like I was never, ever ready for a relationship until now. But I've been in all these relationships and they taught me so many things. You know what I mean? So it's like, it was good we went through it, but we really weren't ready. We weren't ready to receive shit. All we were doing is in relationships projecting onto each other. Just like most grown adults who've been married for a really long time. Like, most of them are just like projecting onto each other. They don't even know how to receive. They don't even know what that taste of that true, infinite, divine, blissed out, can't even freaking describe it in words, love feels like. I didn't know what it felt like until I was in my 30s. And it's like, people want to say, oh, it's like the love you have for your children. Kinda, but not really. It's different. It's not like you have that love for everything. You look at things when you're in that really high vibrational space. You look at everything and it's just complete gratitude and appreciation and love and acceptance. You can look at, a homeless person on the street and all you see is love and acceptance and empathy and just like a yearning to like, how can I add value to this person right now? How can I lift them up? You know what I mean? Like, when I'm driving down the road and I see somebody, a lot of people, but if I see people who are like on drugs or like homeless or like who blatantly struggle, and that's just, who they've known, this, what they've always known. I always send so much loving energy out while I'm driving or I'm out and about or in public at all. Because I can just feel everyone. So I like drive by somebody who struggles and I'm just like, ooh, I can feel that. But instead of making me like sad or upset, I just like blast them with love. Always. And it feels so good to me. It feels just as good to me as like going and, handing them a full meal or whatever. That feeling when you just give to somebody just because you don't want anything in return. Like, it's that connection to everything. And you look at that person, like, for instance, I'll think of like somebody who used to, one of my ex-in-law relatives who used to always come at me, always try to pick at me and all this kind of stuff. And I'll think of that person and I'm like, damn, like, I don't even look at them as the enemy anymore. I look at them as somebody who's in so much pain. And they're just projecting onto me because that's where they're at vibrationally. And it isn't their fault. And the ego wants to be like, yeah, it is their fault. They could learn about spirituality. They could do this. It's like it's so much more than that. It's like a journey, and that journey is so gradual that you could never force your way into it. It's like those seeds and those little breadcrumbs, and then And some people, it takes a lot longer, and that's okay. And here's another thing Spirit wanted me to bring through. I knew there was something else. I was like, why keep wanting me to keep talking? Because they want me to bring this up. I was sitting at the table, and how many? There were probably like 8 of us, and we were playing cards, my family, and we were all sitting around the table, and everyone starts talking about the vaccine and getting the second dose, and I didn't have side effects, and my mom had horrible side effects. She had horrible flu-like symptoms afterwards. Like, she wasn't able to function for like 4 or 5 days. It was pretty bad for her. But literally even the one person in my family who I thought was like not gonna go for it, freaking went for it. And I was just like sitting at the table looking at everybody. It's like the whole room, except for me, is like vaccinated. And then I'm thinking about the shedding everyone's talking about. I'm like, oh my God. But I was like, don't you sink into fear. I'm not afraid of it. I'm not going to be stupid about it, but I'm not going to sit around and be afraid of my family because of vaccine shedding. I'm sorry. I'm just not. I'm not that person. I'm not a vibrational match to any of it. Neither are my kids. I protect them all the time. But anyways, I'm just sitting there looking at my family like, in the next 2 to 5 years, maybe none of you will be sitting here with me. And then I'm just appreciating my brother because he wanted to have this gathering, and maybe it was all for a reason. And yeah, my mom got stressed, but like we all came together, and at the end of the day, it was a really fun time and it was good. But it was just like, sometimes you feel like you're in the freaking Twilight Zone when you're sitting and watching it all play out. And just protect yourself. Like, for me, what I want to say to you guys right now, like, just after going through that experience, because it was like, that's as low as I've been in a very long time. Like, that little incident. And it was so fast. It all happened in like freaking hour. Well, I guess it was longer than that because it was lingering for a day. But everything just happened so fast. The meltdown, the realization, and it's just like, so, and I wasn't thinking about protecting myself in those moments. I was too caught up in trying to please everybody and, make the situation peaceful. So it's important to take that time for yourself and make sure your cup is overflowing before you go and you overexert yourself, and then you get sucked down into lower vibrations that don't serve you, but they do serve you because you grow. So I love you guys so much, and I hope this helped, and I hope that the volume isn't messed up because I didn't use a speaker or anything, but I just really wanted to come out here and like share that with you. I really wanted to share the message, but I felt a little bit nervous about talking about it because it was hard for me to admit that I like completely went off on Lance. That was the thing that was like hard for me to share, because it's like, I don't want you guys to see me as that person who snaps, but that is my dark side, that person who is just angry. And part of the reason for that is because like I was around angry, abusive people from age 0 to 8 before my dad got custody of us. Like, in that environment, I just saw physical abuse, verbal abuse, like, and it was just like, so that's my thing I deal with. And it's just like anger, but you guys aren't alone. So I wanted to share it just so you know, like, I'm not perfect, nobody's perfect, and it's all vibrational. That's your currency. So if you want to know the big secret, all it is vibration. That's all it is. Just figure yourself out so you can nip things in the butt before they happen. Observe. You don't even have to like overthink it. You're in a situation. How can you make the best of it? How can you see the silver lining? How can you this, that, and the other? But you got to recharge on batteries, and you got to protect yourself, because if you don't, then it can get ugly. But the energies are crazy right now. Nobody is exempt. And I think we can all see that. But there's a bigger picture at play, and I don't think any of us know what that entails yet. Not one human being, because it's not meant to be known. It's meant to be wow, whoa, like what is happening right now moment. Just like when everybody found out about the COVID and all that, like it was like, whoa, what the heck is going on? All of a sudden our whole world's turned upside down. I think we're gonna have another one of those moments, and I don't know what it is, and I don't even want to like sit here and put out predictions, because I don't even think I'm onto it. You know, I don't think it's meant to be known. But anyways, I wanted to share that with you guys too. Like, I've been having that feeling for like a few weeks now, and I've been telling Lance, I was like, I have this feeling of anticipation of something big, but I don't have a clue. Like, usually I have little clues, you know, no clues. So your guess is as good as mine, guys. But I love you, and I hope this helps somebody.